UFC, WNBA, a couple other things here. Welcome to Props and Parlays Today. I'm Andy from WagerTalk.com, and we're going to get right into a few props here. It's not going to be that long of a show, and there's not going to be too many things, and I will explain why here at the very end of the show, because we're going to talk about some very important bankroll management, and I keep pounding it into everyone's head, and some of you get it, and some of you that get it, those of you that do get it, your bankroll is flourishing, and others that haven't quite grasped it, struggling here a bit. So, all right, let's talk about some props. We'll start real quick with UFC here. I think the round props are pretty dialed in for the most part here. This Long Jiao and Chang Ho Lee, I expect that one to go the distance. Both those guys are not quite finishers, and to be honest, both of them are kind of some of their best competition that they've ever faced, so I think it's pretty equal. That being said, unders on these road to UFC guys have been really good, so that's kind of a stay away. I think the over on this Brunson Ribeiro and Magomed Gadzhimagomedov fight is very sneaky at plus money. Magomed, bit of a fraud. He's like whenever we see Magomed, and then we see a name that ends with OV, we think to ourselves, "Oh, he must be great." And this guy's coming off contender series; he's not that great. Brenson Ribeiro is the ultimate try to get the finish in the first round. If not, he gets knocked out. I'm not sure Magomed finishes. I think Magomed try and draws the fight out a little bit. Both of them have cardio issues. I could see this being if it doesn't finish in the first couple minutes, Magomed kind of grapples and pushes him up against the fence and gives Brenson Ribeiro time to breathe. I actually think there's value in the over. I'm probably not betting it, but I would be careful about taking this fight to go the under, because whenever you think Brenson Ribeiro, you're like, oh, easy first round, finish. Maybe so, but I would be a little bit worried about that one. Kang Ho Kang, Gafurov, not much. The Fakhretdinov and Dalby fight, overs all day long. Yeah, these guys are pretty evenly matched. I can't believe this minus 360 on Fakhretdinov. No way. But I would lean the over. I mean, these guys have the cardio to go 3 rounds. I'm not sure where the finish comes from either of these guys, because they're both durable and tough and good on the ground. So, Hack and Gordon, it's a hack press fight. So yeah, overs. Jared Gordon doesn't throw a lot of volume, so I don't know where the finish comes from in that one. Walker and Ozdemir, I guess it's the over 1.5. I don't know. I just wouldn't take an over in a Johnny Walker fight. He's got decent power, but he's also got a glass chin. So, Gastelum and Rodriguez, weird things going on in this fight. I'm not sure this fight's going to happen. Gastelum has said he's not even close to making weight. Like 10 pounds off. And Rodriguez said, maybe we do a catch weight. I don't know. Rodriguez probably wants to fight. You go through a long fight camp, and then you don't even get a chance. He flies to Saudi Arabia, and you don't even get a chance to fight. So they'll do whatever it takes, but it doesn't sound like this fight's going to be anywhere near the weight. If the fight does happen, it's overs all day. If not, I talked about Pavlovich and Volkov under 1.5. I mean, these guys are killers. Pavlovich in the UFC hasn't been out of the first round. He's going to come out swinging. If he doesn't catch Volkov, I think Volkov gets him underground, where Volkov either subs him or ground and pounds him. I'm just not sure. Not sure how this fight gets extended unless Volkov tries to clinch on the feet. But I think this minus 154 is pretty good. And then Whittaker and Aliscar, I love this over 2.5. It's a 5-round fight. I don't think either of these guys are going to push too hard early. I would be worried about Aliscarov's cardio, going late. But Whittaker, he's been around for a while, taking a lot of shots. But I'm not sure. This is such a big step up in Aliscarov. I think Whittaker tries to extend this and get it into later rounds, because Whittaker's been training for 5 rounds. Aliscarov hasn't. So this over 2.5 minus 166 seems like a pretty good one. So that's what I got for UFC as far as props. Let's talk a little bit of WNBA. There's a game tonight I think you could play some props on. It is Dallas and Chicago, two not good teams. I know. You're welcome, everybody. Let's talk about two of the worst teams in WNBA. But this is kind of what we do. We are those of you that followed me for, I'll know we are focused on winning. You're not focused on plays in the most marquee games. We're not focused on putting up a big big play just because there's a Monday night football game, or oh, let's try baseball. We haven't done baseball all year, but now there's no sports left. It's baseball season. Let's put up baseball play. So we're focused on where the value is. And we had a nice little cash on Caitlin Clark over 17.5 points. We got there at the very, very end. It was on the last free throw, but the value was on the over. The over cashes. So here's what's going on with Dallas and Chicago. Dallas defense last 5 games is third worst. It's really bad. But we could talk a little about the Los Angeles Sparks now without Brinks. There's some opportunities for that team. But Dallas, their defense has been worse than Chicago. So like when we look at some of these props, the one I go to is Dana Evans here for Chicago. I kind of like the over here. I mean, this is a play that in 2024, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this play is 9-4 to the over, and she's gone over in 3 out of 4 games against one of the worst defensive teams in the league. So I think Dana Evans over 11.5 is a pretty good price. You could go to PRA if you wanted. I wished I would taken Caitlin Clark over PRA yesterday because she hit that easily with 12 rebounds. So if you want to go with PRA with Dana Evans, that's fine. I think she's been getting it done with her assists. Yeah, her assists have been kind of where she's been getting it. So PRA at points at 11.5. Well, this PRA number is wrong, so ignore this PRA. But anyway, she's been getting over her PRA. 11.5 points is where it's at. So thanks a lot, Props.cash. Maybe you look like an idiot there. I was also looking at Marina Mabrey. Under, she went over a lot at the beginning, but then kind of had a stretch with some unders. I can't get there because against Indiana, another bad defense, she had 22. But I really think that the previous prop is one that I'd be looking at. Gotta talk Breanna Stewart and how she either flies under or over her point total at 19.5. This is a play that has been profitable. I believe it's 9-6 to the under. So if you're playing it, you're just kind of playing it every single night. I believe the points, rebounds, and assists is kind of the exact same story. So she's either going over in all categories or under. So when I look at her, though, she'll go like 3 games. Like if you notice, she goes like 3 games in a row with going unders. She does back-to-back games here, getting over her points. So we have one here. If you want to play her tonight, this is a bad matchup for LA. They don't have Brinks, and they're not a very good defensive team anyway. So this kind of screams New York Liberty kind of beating them up pretty bad. So do with that what you want. If you think the matchup is good for Stewart and you think she's going to have a good game, when we look at some of the games that she's gone under, it's actually against Washington and Indiana and Washington again. So it's almost like she lets the other players get their stats against the bad teams, but against the good teams, that's where she kind of steps up here. Phoenix and Atlanta and Minnesota. Obviously she had the big game against Chicago, but I don't know, probably a good matchup. But if you're going to play Breanna Stewart, it's unders all day. So we can take a look at some parlay pieces. We'll be Jim and I will be doing the breakdown video for that. So we can look at some tennis here. ATP London at some games tomorrow. I think Korda could be a decent one. I don't think I'd play Fritz at minus 240, but Korda at minus 575. That's a potential parlay piece. And then if we're looking at Formula One, I do need to mention this for Formula One props wise. Winning margin. You could put a unit on under 6 seconds and then a unit on between 6 and 12 seconds. So that means if the margin of victory at the Spanish Grand Prix is under 12 seconds, you're going to cash. So Max Verstappen, his first 5 wins of the season, 3 of them were well over this 12-second mark. His last 3 wins have been, 3.8, 7.6, and 0.7. The gap is really closed. Lando Norris has closed the gap. Charles Leclerc has closed the gap. So I'm not really sure that Max blows everybody out. Last year he won by 24 seconds. These cars are a little bit different. These upgrades from the other cars have made a big difference. And if we get a late safety car or virtual safety car, it bunches up the fields and then this easily cashes. So we're looking for this 2 plays at plus money here. I thought that was kind of an interesting prop. It's kind of similar to what we did to NASCAR, where we were talking about Chevy and Toyota winning all the races earlier in the season. So yeah, under 6 seconds and between 6 and 12 seconds. If it's less than 12 seconds, we're up a unit or so. So that would just be sprinkling a unit on each. So I had to mention that one. I believe we were talking tennis and where's my girl? Oh, Sabalenka. Well, by the time you guys see this, that will already have started. So I love Sabalenka. I love betting on Sabalenka. She's one of my favorite. And then in PFL, Jim and I's breakdown video for PFL is up on the WagerTalk channel. So if you haven't checked that out, I would encourage everyone to do that. There's some really good parlay pieces in there as well. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about what's kind of going on in the betting world, sports. By the way, hit the like button. Let's see, what's a good code word to leave in the comments section. Let's go with water. Water. If you guys could try and work the word water into a gambling pick. So, in a watered down field, Scotty Scheffler should win. Something like that. So, here's what I've noticed in the gambling world. NBA finals are over. NHL. There's only, there's a game here or there. So I've also noticed there's a lot of soccer experts on social media. And that is a great way to lose money, is to jump into a sport that you're not really comfortable with. So I've had I think I've had 2 plays up for sale on WagerTalk. One of them, of course, is the PFL 5% play. And that is a sport that we are used to betting, that we have been betting, that we have a great track record of betting on. 5-1 in the last 6, and our only loss was when Sadabusi broke his thumb. We were literally a freak injury away from sweeping the board. So we're on a great MMA run, number 1 last 11 weeks. We really haven't messed with a whole lot of bets in other sports. Corbin put in a couple soccer plays, and soccer's just been wonky, and they didn't go well. So we've kind of laid off soccer. So we lost 2 tennis plays to start the week, but we just cashed 2 more. So we're down a few units this week, but where our focus is on the sports that we know best. So we have quite a few units on PFL and UFC, and then that 5% PFL play, it comes with all of our UFC plays. So everything that we're going to be betting on with our own bankroll in MMA is in that 5% pack. We've got our cross-sport parlays, which if you've seen them and you have them and you're an all-access client, first off, thank you, but you're going to recognize a lot of the same parlay pieces. Why? Because that's how you build the bankroll. It's rinse and repeat with a lot of the same props and parlays that we talk about here on this very show. This is the time of year, I see it every year, where everyone chases baseball bets, where everyone chases soccer bets. Why? Because you got to have the action. I got to have some action on the game tonight. There's no NBA. There's no NHL. How are the Mariners doing? And it's just a great way to bleed your bankroll. And that's not what I'm about. That's not what we're about. And I always say this. The best way to make money is to not lose it. And I just see so many people pissing away their bankroll in this month, the next month, and the next month with trying sports that they are just not comfortable with. Like, if you're laying off these sports that you're not used to betting, you are ahead of just about everybody else. I'm sure the books love this time of year when everyone is firing away bets on sports that they don't watch. So I encourage everybody to stick to what you know, and just know you do not have to have bets every single day. It's not mandatory. That is not a law, though some people, treat it as such. So keep the volume low, keep with the sports and the plays that you know, and just remember, 1-0 is better than 2-1. So 2-1, you're most likely paying the juice. So one play can increase your bankroll, and in a very short period of time, our bankroll can increase exponentially. So just be careful with your bankroll management and managing the plays. So, all right, that is going to do it for us. The PFL preview video is up. We will have the UFC video that will be up, where we'll be going over all of the UFC fights for the Saudi Arabian card. And Jim and I will be we will be doing Takedown Live on our new YouTube channel. We've got a new YouTube channel where we're going to be putting out more content, and that's where our live. You guys have used to us our YouTube channel and Takedown Live, but I'll send out a link to the new channel where we want to be doing some more content over there. So look forward to that. And thanks for everybody. And take care. And we'll see everyone tomorrow on Props and Parlays Today.